Hello students, welcome back to our English class. Here in this session, let us deal with literary devices. What are these literary devices? Literary devices sometimes are called poetic devices or figures of language, figurative speech, whatever. Okay, whatever you call these words or expressions, ideas, they help the writers to make the learners or the readers understand what they are going to disclose through their texts. Okay, they highlight literary devices, they highlight important concepts in a text, strengthen the narrative and help readers connect to the characters and themes. These devices serve a wide range of purposes in literature. These are also called figures of speech. Okay, these figures of speech are techniques that writers use to express their ideas and enhance their writing. Now let us see what these are. Now children, what do you look at? What do you see there in the slide or on the screen? Okay, full of stars. Do you recall or recollect any small poem or rhyme? Here you are. Come on, sing with me. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. See, here, this is very known and very famous, very often sung rhyme or poem for that matter, you can say that. And we all like it. Okay. And it is very famous because we often sing it. Whenever somebody asks you to sing a rhyme, we immediately recollect this. But here in this small rhyme, we have a figure of speech, an important figure of speech, an important literary device. That is simile. What is simile here? A simile is a comparison between two things using the words like or as. So in the poem there, come on, like a diamond in the sky. So we are comparing the stars in the sky to a diamond. Okay, so this comparison with using words like or as makes us understand what a simile is. Now listen to this. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. White as snow. Its fleece was white as snow. That means its fleece is compared to snow. But what is the word used here? As. Okay. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb went along with her. Like, now, see the examples there? These examples, children, they'll let us understand how simile works, how the literary device simile works. See, the man was as hungry as a bear at dinner. Here, the hunger of the man is compared with that of a bear. She ran like the wind to get to class on time. Here the speed of her running is compared to that of wind. The boy cried like a baby when he fell off the swing. So the cry of the boy is compared to that of a baby. So here the comparison is being done. Okay. What like as. So when you see the words like and as and such other things which help you to understand the comparison, you can say that the literary device used in the text is simile. Simile. Okay? As busy as a bee. As clean as a whistle. As cold as ice. As cheap as dirt. As clear as crystal. As quick as a cheetah. So children, we should understand when we read them in any text, in any poem, in any prose, or in any discourse, that a comparison is being done using some words. So when the comparison with words is done, it is a simile. It is a simile. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. So this is here also, in these 4 lines you have another figure of speech. Now you see these 4 lines. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. So these 4 lines again, they have a figure of speech, a literary device which compares life with something else. Okay? Life is compared to a broken winged bird and also a barren field. So here also we see comparison, but there is no word like or as. There are no words like such as like or as. See, when anything is compared without using comparison words, then you can call it a metaphor. That figure of speech where you don't see any comparing words, you can call it metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech that makes a comparison between 2 unlike things. As a literary device, metaphor creates implicit comparison without expressions like or as. Now you see in this, the night is a big black cat, the moon is her topaz eye, the stars are the mice she hunts at night in the field of the sultry sky. See here, the night is compared to a big black cat, but there is no word like as. There is no comparison word. There is no comparison word. There is no word which is comparing these words. Okay? Now, again, the moon is compared to topaz eye. The stars are the mice, are compared or understood as mice. Okay? So, in this way, where you have the words for comparison like, as, sometimes so, than, that figure of speech you can say it as a simile. When you don't find such things and when one thing is directly compared to another thing, then you can say it is a metaphor. Okay? So it's very simple, children. When you see words like, as, it is a simile. When you don't have them and you have a comparison there, it is a metaphor. See the examples here. Life is a journey. Life is a journey. So life is directly compared to a journey without any comparison word. Life is a highway. Laughter is the best medicine. Time is money. Age is just a state of mind. A dream is a wish your heart makes. Now you see, children, here. Wow, beautiful pics. What do you see here? Now we are going to talk about another important figure of speech. Now before that, I want you to give a word, a single word, or you to call this picture with a single word. What do you generally use? Nature? Beautiful, you are right. But we generally don't simply use nature, we call Mother Nature. Mother Nature. But can we see any lady there, any woman there standing? But we call Mother Nature. Now you see, what do you see here in this pic? Yes, it's our mighty earth. But whenever we use earth in literary forms, literary texts, we call Mother Earth. We call Mother Earth. So, that means here we are personifying the mother, the earth and also nature. Okay, that means we are attributing the qualities of a human to a non-human thing. See, we generally say Mother India, Mother India. Yes or no? Okay, but can we find anywhere a woman standing there calling herself as India? No. We personify our country as mother, as our mother. So what is personification? Personification is a common literary tool used to assign the qualities of a person to something that is not human. Okay? Now see the examples. The flower petals dance with brisk wind. The sun is smiling at me. The water of the fountain bounced with joy. The thunder roared in the evening sky. My stomach is thanking me. So here in these sentences, you can see flower petals. Flower petals, they generally move, but the movement we say that they are dancing. Okay. Sun is smiling means sun is very pleasant with me. My stomach is thanking me means I am literally filled with the food I like. Okay. Now you see the same poem what we had in the beginning. Wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Here in the first stanza, we understood that simile is used. In the next, you see children, we have personification. When the blazing sun is gone, when he nothing shines upon, then you show your little light, twinkle, twinkle all the night. So he, the sun, is compared with a man. Sun is considered a man. Sun is a scientific object, children, and here in this stanza, the poet is using or comparing him as or personifying the sun as a man, and this stanza is helping us to understand how non-human things are personified and attributed with human qualities. Musicians and lyricists constantly they keep using personifications to describe emotions, places, objects, etc. So children, here what we need to understand is these literary devices, simile, metaphor, personification, for that matter there are many other devices, many other techniques used by writers, poets, people who love the language, who work in the language, in any language. They keep on using these devices in order to enhance the beauty of it. And also these techniques like metaphor, personification, irony and many other things, they help the learners or the readers of the text to know exactly what the writer wants to say, exactly what the poet wants to convey. Okay, not only beauty, a big, very large, whole meaning is embedded in one or two words. So that makes the text very attractive to read or to listen. Okay, so let's recap. In this session, we have come to know about simile, metaphor, personification. Simile is identified or can be recognized when there are words such as like or as are seen in any sentence or in poem. Okay, then metaphor is also a literary device used to compare things, but it doesn't have any word like or as, so any word, no comparing word there. Okay, personification is giving human qualities to non-human things, non-human items. Okay, let us practice. See, here you have some sentences. You can identify them. Identify the figures of speech such as simile, metaphor, personification in the following sentences and write them in the brackets provided. You see there? The new parents had stars in their eyes. Here, do they really have the stars in their eyes? No. So it's like showing their happiness. You are my sunshine. Mothers often say or call their children their sunshine. They fought like cats and dogs. The school bell called us from inside. My computer works very hard. I like onions, but they don't like me. Okay, so what expressions are there? I mean, what literary devices are present in this? You try to identify them, write in the brackets. And if you want to practice more, there are n number of examples available on internet. Open your textbook. You can find so many examples for these literary devices when you read the text. Okay, you practice them, discuss with your friends, then try to understand how these techniques, these devices make us understand the beauty, okay, the hidden knowledge about various literature. We shall meet in the next class, children. See you all again.